Hello and welcome to Wisdom Forge. The anger stress cycle, why you snap when overwhelmed, Amygdala Hijacks explained. What is the anger stress cycle? The anger stress cycle is a vicious loop where stress fuels anger, and anger intensifies stress. When overwhelmed, your brain's threat detector, the amygdala, triggers a fight or flight response, making you react aggressively to minor frustrations. Imagine a pressure cooker. Stress builds steam until anger blows the lid off. This isn't a personality flaw, it's biology. Chronic stress depletes your patience, so a spilled coffee or loud noise can feel like a crisis. Over time, this cycle trains your brain to default to anger, eroding relationships and mental health. Breaking it starts with understanding why your brain reacts this way. Your brain on stress, the amygdala hijack. When stress overwhelms you, your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, can hijack rational thinking. This primal response bypasses logic, flooding your body with adrenaline and cortisol to prepare for danger. In modern life, this means screaming at traffic or snapping at loved ones over tiny triggers. The prefrontal cortex, your thinking brain, gets sidelined, leaving you reacting like a cornered animal. An amygdala hijack isn't a choice, it's a survival glitch. Recognizing this helps you pause and ask, is this a real threat, or is my brain overreacting? Why small things feel huge when stressed? Ever wondered why you explode over trivial things when stressed? It's because your brain's emotional bucket is already full. Stress shrinks your window of tolerance, the mental space where you handle discomfort calmly. When overloaded, even a dropped pen can feel like the last straw. Think of it like a glass of water, add one more drop, and it spills. Your brain, drowning in stress hormones, misinterprets small annoyances as threats. This is why stressed people often say, "I don't know why I got so angry." The trigger wasn't the issue, the overflow was. The physical toll of chronic anger. Anger isn't just emotional, it wreaks havoc on your body. Frequent outbursts spike blood pressure, strain your heart, and weaken your immune system. Muscle tension, headaches, and digestive issues often follow rage episodes. Cortisol, the stress hormone, lingers in your bloodstream, keeping you on edge long after the anger fades. Over time, this damages blood vessels and accelerates aging. Anger is like revving a car's engine non-stop. Eventually, it breaks down. Calming your reactions isn't just about mood, it's a longevity strategy. How childhood shapes your anger responses. Your childhood wired your anger patterns. If caregivers dismissed your emotions or modeled yelling, your brain learned that anger equals control or safety. Kids who faced constant chaos may default to rage as adults because it once got them heard. Others suppress anger until it erupts unpredictably. These aren't choices but survival blueprints. For example, if you were punished for crying, your brain may now skip sadness and jump straight to fury. Unraveling these patterns starts with noticing, is this anger really about now, or am I reacting to old wounds? The link between sleep deprivation and anger. Lack of sleep turns you into a powder keg. Sleep deprivation starves the prefrontal cortex, your impulse control center, while the amygdala becomes hyperactive. This imbalance makes you prone to irritability and explosive reactions. Studies show even 2 nights of poor sleep lower emotional resilience, making stress feel unmanageable. Imagine trying to extinguish a fire with a broken hose. That's your sleep-deprived brain trying to regulate emotions. Prioritizing rest isn't laziness, it's anger prevention. How social media fuels the anger cycle. Scrolling through conflict-driven content trains your brain to seek threats, keeping your amygdala on high alert. Online arguments release dopamine, addicting you to outrage. Algorithms feed you anger-inducing posts because rage keeps you engaged. Over time, this rewires your brain to default to anger even offline. You might notice shorter tempers after doom scrolling. Digital anger is like junk food for your emotions, it fills you up but leaves you malnourished. Breaking the cycle starts with curating your feed and setting screen limits. The role of perfectionism in anger. Perfectionists often explode when things don't go as planned. Their rigid standards create constant stress, and any deviation feels like failure. Underneath the anger is fear of losing control, being judged, or not being enough. When reality clashes with impossible expectations, the brain interprets it as a threat, triggering rage. Perfectionism isn't striving for excellence, it's self-punishment disguised as ambition. Learning to embrace good enough reduces the amygdala's false alarms. Why men and women express anger differently. Societal conditioning shapes anger expression. Men are often encouraged to vent rage, seen as strong, while women may suppress it, labeled hysterical. These stereotypes ignore biology. Both genders experience anger equally, but coping strategies differ. Women might cry when angry due to cultural permission for tears but not yelling. Men may mask hurt with aggression. Neither is healthier, both are survival adaptations. Recognizing this helps you unlearn toxic patterns and express anger constructively. How to spot early anger warning signs. Anger builds subtly before exploding. Physical cues like clenched jaws, rapid heartbeat, or overheating signal an impending outburst. Mentally, you might notice obsessive thoughts, "they always do this," or a urge to withdraw. These are your body's SOS signals. Catching them early lets you intervene before hijacking occurs. Try the 10-second rule: pause, count, and breathe. This creates space between trigger and reaction, letting your thinking brain regain control. The power of name it to tame it. Labeling your emotions reduces their intensity. When you say, "I'm feeling furious because," you activate the prefrontal cortex, calming the amygdala. This isn't woo-woo. Studies show naming anger weakens its grip. Instead of "I am angry," try "I notice anger." This small shift creates distance, helping you respond, not react. Journaling or talking to a friend forces your brain to process feelings logically, diffusing the explosion. Breathing techniques to short-circuit anger. Deep breathing isn't cliché, it's neuroscience. Slow breaths stimulate the vagus nerve, which tells your amygdala to stand down. Try 4-7-8 breathing, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. This resets your nervous system in minutes. Unlike suppression, which backfires, breathing acknowledges anger while dialing it down. It's like pressing pause on a boiling pot, giving you time to turn down the heat. How exercise releases pent-up rage. Movement metabolizes stress hormones. A brisk walk or punching bag session channels anger energy physically, preventing emotional outbursts. Exercise also boosts endorphins, your brain's natural commerce. Think of it as shaking a soda can to release pressure safely. Regular workouts expand your window of tolerance, making daily stressors feel less overwhelming. When to seek help for anger issues. If anger harms relationships or leaves you ashamed, therapy can help. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, rewires reactive thought patterns. Anger isn't bad, it's a signal. But when it controls you, professional guidance teaches healthy expression. Medications may help if rage stems from depression or ADHD. Asking for help isn't weakness, it's reclaiming your life. The role of nutrition in mood regulation. Sugar crashes and caffeine spikes mimic stress, priming you for irritation. Omega-3s in fish, walnuts, stabilize mood, while magnesium, leafy greens, soothes the nervous system. Dehydration also heightens anger. Your brain is 75% water. Eating regularly prevents hunger, where low blood sugar masquerades as rage. Food isn't just fuel, it's anger management. How to repair relationships after an outburst. Post-anger guilt often leads to avoidance or over-apologizing. Instead, try, I'm working on my reactions. Can we talk about what happened? Listen without defending. Actions matter most. Show change through consistent calm responses. Trust rebuilds in small moments, not grand gestures. Long-term strategies to break the cycle. Daily mindfulness, even 5 minutes, shrinks the amygdala over time, reducing reactivity. Therapy modalities like EMDR help process trauma fueling anger. Setting boundaries lowers chronic stress. Progress isn't linear. Each pause between trigger and reaction weakens the cycle's grip. A message to anyone ashamed of their anger. Anger isn't moral failure, it's unmet need. You're not broken, you're adapting. Healing begins when shame lifts. Every effort to understand your anger is a step toward freedom. You deserve compassion, especially from yourself. Thank you, and let's stay connected. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. If you found this video valuable, imagine what you'll learn next. Subscribe to Wisdom Forge and hit the bell icon so you never miss more thought-provoking content, practical wisdom for everyday life, the tools to unlock your full potential. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway or what topics you'd like to see next. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning.